what I'm going to do next is simply show you a little bit the software and how that works. And what we're going to do is we're going to simply jump onto a customer server first and just create some data so we can see how we can protect that and recover that data. So we'll create something simple here. So we have a test document there, and the next thing I'm going to do is simply jump onto our appliance here and take a snapshot of that server. And that's going to be our core here. Let me just full screen that for you. So this is the actual software. And let me just kick off a snapshot here. That's going to take a few seconds for us. So we see the server here on the left-hand side, which we are protecting. While that's running, I'm going to jump here on the dashboard side. So on the dashboard here, when you open this interface, you're going to see, some nice little graphs and status reports of what's going on. You see your trouble monitor. Are my snapshots running okay? Do I have any issues? How many servers am I protecting? How much storage am I consuming? And what sort of compression and deduplication am I getting out of that? Furthermore, and a very nice feature in the solution is that we have retention policies in this application. So what that means is it can be a hybrid, kind of a hybrid solution between DR and backup. Meaning that you can actually say, I want to retain my snapshots for a number of days, weeks, months, or even years. So that's all fully customizable here, and so you can treat this pretty much like a backup solution and a DR solution. And another nice little thing here is that you can recover individual VMs or servers on this appliance on site. So for kind of smaller recoveries, you can recover on the appliance locally and in the cloud as well. So I'm going to go to our server here again that we're protecting, and I'm going to look at some recovery points here, and I'm going to see that okay, I have a recovery point here from a minute ago. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount that recovery point. And I simply need to create a folder to actually mount that into. And as you can see here, we have a long list of recovery points. And this is where the retention rule kicks in. You retain those recovery points for a number of days, weeks, or months. I'm going to recover our C drive and have a look at what it looked like at that point in time. And another nice little thing here, when I'm doing that, I can actually create a Windows share and actually share this out to my users if that's needed, and allow them to browse the directory from that point in time. So that's mounted my C drive. And if I go into my Protect Me folder, I can see my test document there, and we have the data there. So this is how I would, do a very simple kind of restore. And obviously, I can browse any folders or files from that point in time. I can additionally, because this is a mount point, I can look at SQL databases or Exchange, and I can actually mount them and browse them if needed. So if we look at our diagram here again, so we've actually had a look at kind of restoring data on the local appliance, but while we were doing that, it replicated that last snapshot also to the cloud, and we have an identical copy of the appliance in the cloud. storing all that data. So I'm going to jump onto the cloud appliance and have a look at that as well, and see if we can see that data there as well. So this is another core or another DR appliance we have in the cloud, taking the replication from the source. We can see we have the same timestamp there. Let's just full screen this as well. And I do the same process here. So I'm gonna create a folder here for restore. Yeah. And I'm gonna mount that last one. Like so. And so we have the data in the cloud there as well, successfully replicated. Now, what happens next is that all the servers we have protected here, they get replicated to our cloud, and then they're made available as a VM in our DR environment. And the last piece of this is we've looked at file restores and how that would look like. Now we want to see if we actually have a copy of this VM in our cloud. So I'm just going to jump on this guy again, and we can see we have a virtual standby configured here. And that one has actually finished any sort of export, so we know that it's ready and available in our DR environment. So we'll jump into it here. So we have our site DR here. We have the VM here. It's offline at the moment, and I'm simply going to turn that on here right now. This is obviously in our lab environment, but a lot of these steps that we do when turning on a VM are automated and scripted. So that's the VM starting up. So usually what you have there within 2 to 3 minutes of a snapshot being performed on site, you have the VM actually available and ready to be booted up in the cloud. So protect me, and there's our test file. So as you can see, I booted that VM up from a snapshot we took a few minutes ago, and it's already available in the cloud.